I'm 81 years old now, and I don't say that lightly. At this age, every number feels heavy. I've outlived most of the people who knew me when I was younger, and the ones who are left mostly remember me for what I did, not for who I was. That's part of why I'm telling this. Not to explain myself, just to say it out loud once before there's no one left to hear it. I spent my whole life working, and somewhere along the way, I lost my family. I don't mean I woke up one day and they were gone. It wasn't like that. It happened slowly, so slowly that for a long time I didn't even realize anything was wrong. I thought I was doing what I was supposed to do. I thought I was being responsible. I thought I was being a good wife, a good mother, a reliable person. Those words mattered a lot to me back then. Reliable, hardworking, strong. They felt like armor. Now they feel more like excuses. These days, I wake up early out of habit, even though there's nowhere I need to be. My body doesn't let me sleep in anymore. I sit at the small kitchen table with my coffee and listen to the apartment wake up around me, pipes knocking, a neighbor's television through the wall, the world still moving along without any real need for me in it. I look at my hands and think about how much they did, how much they carried, and how little of it stayed. People talk about time like it's loud when it's passing, like you feel it rushing. I didn't. Time was quiet. It slipped by while I was busy being useful. In my 20s, I was already tired. Not the kind of tired I feel now in my bones. A different tired. The kind that comes from wanting to prove something. I grew up watching my mother stretch money until it almost tore. She never complained, but I saw it in the way she counted coins, the way she hesitated before buying anything for herself. I promised myself I would never live like that. I promised my family would never feel that kind of uncertainty. So when I found steady work, I clung to it. Extra hours, I said yes. Promotions with more responsibility, I said yes. When people called me dependable, I felt proud. That word meant everything to me. I married young. My husband was kind, quiet. He trusted me. I thought that trust meant he understood why I was always busy. And in many ways, he did. That was part of the problem. He didn't demand more from me. He adapted. When our first child was born, I remember holding her and thinking, this is why I do all of this. This is the reason. I believed it completely. I thought love was something you proved by working harder, by making sure everyone was taken care of. I didn't realize that love also needs your time, your attention, your presence. I missed small things first: bedtimes, school mornings, family dinners. I told myself children don't remember those things. I told myself they remember vacations, gifts, opportunities. I didn't understand that the small moments are what make a child feel safe. I didn't understand that being absent, even for practical reasons, still leaves a mark. My husband would talk to me in the evenings, and I'd nod while my mind was already somewhere else. Sometimes he would stop talking and just sit there. I thought he was tired. I didn't realize he was lonely. Those two things look similar from the outside, but they're not the same. As the children grew, they stopped asking if I'd be home. They stopped waiting. I didn't notice when that shift happened. That's one of the hardest things to accept now. I was there, but I wasn't present enough to see myself fading out of their daily lives. Work kept rewarding me: raises, recognition, responsibility. That made it harder to question anything. At home, things grew quieter, fewer arguments, less tension. I thought we'd found balance. I didn't see that we were drifting apart. I believed that providing was the same as loving. Years passed in routines, not milestones. Alarm clocks, calendars, deadlines. I told myself I would slow down when things stabilized. Then, when the kids were older, then when I reached a certain level, there was always a reason to postpone being fully there. At some point, my husband stopped trying to talk things through. I remember feeling relieved. No more difficult conversations, I thought. No more pressure. I didn't understand that silence often means someone has already given up. I missed my daughter's school performance. I came home late and she was already in bed. She didn't cry. She didn't complain. She just turned away from me. I told myself there would be another one. There usually isn't. When I finally realized something was wrong, it wasn't dramatic. No shouting, no final fight. My husband just said one evening that he felt like he was living beside me, not with me. He said it calmly. That calmness scared me more than anger would have. I told him everything I was doing was for our family. I believed that. But he asked me something I couldn't answer. He asked me when I planned to stop. Not someday, not eventually, when. I had no answer. Not everything breaks suddenly. Some things wear down quietly until there's nothing left to hold on to. We separated years later, not out of bitterness, out of exhaustion. By then, the children had their own lives, their own distance. They didn't accuse me. They didn't need to. They had already adjusted to life without me being central in it. After the separation, I worked even more. Work was familiar, predictable. It didn't ask me to face what I had lost. Then retirement came. No one tells you how quickly you can become invisible. One day people rely on you, the next day you're replaced. There was a small farewell, a card, a polite speech. I went home and sat in the quiet. That's when everything I had been avoiding caught up with me. I tried to reconnect. I called more, suggested visits, holidays. But relationships aren't something you can restart once you finally have time. They need continuity. They need proof that you'll keep showing up. My children are kind to me now, polite, but there's distance. They have their own families, their own responsibilities. We see each other on holidays. I listen more than I speak. I try not to give advice they didn't ask for. I wonder if they know how often I think about them. Sometimes I want to explain myself, to say I tried, to say I thought I was doing the right thing. But explanations don't replace presence. They don't give people back what they needed at the time. The moment that finally broke through everything wasn't retirement, it was my husband's illness. Years after we separated, he became sick. I visited him in the hospital. We talked quietly. He looked smaller somehow, still gentle. He thanked me for coming. That hurt more than anything. He didn't owe me gratitude. He passed not long after. Standing there, I realized how much of our shared life existed only in my memory now. All the conversations I thought we'd have someday were gone. Death doesn't leave room for later. That's when I understood something clearly. Work always ends. It doesn't sit with you when you're old. It doesn't remember you. It doesn't care how much you gave. It simply moves on. What can't be fixed is the absence. The years I wasn't really there, the mother my children needed when they were young, that woman doesn't exist anymore. Maybe she never fully did. I don't hate my life. I want to say that. I'm grateful for many things. I kept things stable. I provided. I did what I knew how to do. But gratitude and sorrow can exist together. They often do. If you're listening to this and you're busy, I understand. I won't tell you to quit or change everything overnight. I wouldn't have listened either. I'll just say this: be careful what you keep postponing. Be careful what you assume will always be there. People don't always leave because they're angry. Sometimes they leave because they're tired of waiting. I don't have much time left. I can feel that now. My days are quieter. I try to be present in small ways: a phone call, a note, sitting with memories without trying to correct them. If this meant something to you, sit with it for a moment. That's enough. Time moves whether we notice it or not. I'm 81 years old. I worked hard and I loved my family. I just wish I had understood sooner that love needs more than effort. It needs you there.